Alright, hello and welcome to Lab 2. So you guys are all professionals now at doing your virtual machine lab, so I won't have to go over it as much, but let me get you started. So go ahead and copy the code for this lab as normal. It will be copied into whatever your current directory is in the terminal, and make sure you get these two files right here. Okay, and we'll talk about first this first one, fuzzbizbaz.cpp. So this program is essentially a clone of FizzBuzz that we talked about in class, but with a few extra conditions. Okay, so see the comments of the code for exactly what you should be implementing, and this is what it should look like when you run it. Let us go there. So here is fuzzbizbaz.cpp down here. So you're going to check for divisibility by 2, 3, and 5. If the number that the user entered, you'll get 1, was divisible by 2, you'll print fuzz. By 3, you'll print biz. By 5, you'll print baz. Okay? And all the combinations, just like for FizzBuzz, should apply as well. So if it's divisible by both 2 and 3, you'll print fuzz biz. Fuzz and biz, yeah? 2 and 5, fuzz and baz, yeah? 3 and 5 similarly, and 2, 3, and 5, you should print fuzz, biz, baz in that order. Okay, so that is the name of the game. Essentially the exact same as FizzBuzz, just a bit fancier. And of course, if none of the above apply, you will print the number itself. Okay? There is a trick that I want you to think about. You can do it the way that I talked about in class, but there is a slightly faster way if you're interested in trying to figure it out. It only involves 4 if statements. Okay? You can ask me about that if you'd like. Otherwise, you can just do it the way I was talking about in class. You're going to have to get the order of those if-elses correct. Okay? That's important. So this is what it should look like when you go and run it. Fuzzbizbaz, for example, is going to be printed out when you type in 30, because that's divisible by 5, 2, and 3. Yeah? Because that is 30. I think. Yes. Yes, it is. So, and the rest are similar. Okay, so get that working. Compile as usual. You know how to do it. Make sure it's doing everything properly, and then you're ready for the next part of this lab. And so, for this one, it's going to be about tic-tac-toe. You're going to get some input from the user, 9 characters to be exact, and those 9 characters will represent the tic-tac-toe board in order from left to right, top to bottom. So for example, if the user typed in this, that's going to represent this board right here, in this order. Yeah? And then X is clearly the winner. Okay? And you might be interested in knowing how to get a bunch of input from the user at once. Like, don't ask a bunch of prompts, because you don't actually want to do that in this case. So here's an example of the program running. The user can just type a bunch of space-separated characters, and you can get them all in one fell swoop. And let me show you how to do that. You can use cin like this, with a bunch of variables. You can use it with 9 variables, in fact. And I encourage you to do that. Instead of just having a bunch of cins on a bunch of different lines, you can put them all on the same line, if you would like. Okay, so let me give you an example of this just to make sure you understand it, and we'll go from there. Okay, so on my desktop, I'm going to make a very, let's see here. I'm going to make just a simple file. I think I have it open already here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so here's a file that's going to get 3 numbers from the user, int x, y, and z, and we're just going to take them immediately. Okay, so cout, enter 3 numbers, and then we're going to get all 3 of them on the same line. Okay, 3 space-separated numbers. Okay, and so to get them all, you can say cin, first x, then y, then z, and this line gets every single one of them. Okay, so let me show you that working. I'll just print out, I don't know, x plus y plus z. Why not? So if I go to this, I can compile it. I'll just let it be called a.out. 3 space-separated numbers. I can do 12 space 13 space 14, and it gets them all in order. And space-separated means that you could do whatever. 12 or 13 tab, 14 new line, 15 enter. Okay, as long as it's some kind of space, cin will get it. Okay? Usually we just put normal spaces though. So yeah, enjoy that. That's going to make your life easier, I think. You can just have one big cin line for this program. And if we go to the file itself, here is all the comments that you'll be reading and using to implement your program. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to get all of those characters to represent the game board, and then you're going to check using a bunch of if statements who won. Okay? So you know how to play tic-tac-toe, I hope. You will check all of the rows, columns, and diagonals for winners, and a winner is if they all align. All right? And I've given you some examples in the file, and we'll go there in a second. Yeah, if there was no winner, you'll just print out that it was a tie. So here is some examples of all the possibilities. So X might win, O might win, or it's a tie. So this is the kind of output that you will exactly reproduce in all these cases. Yeah, you'll compile as usual and get it working. So let's look at the code a little bit more. In my example, I'm calling the board like this, with all these different variable names to represent these pieces of the board. And yeah, I encourage you to declare a bunch of chars with those names, because I've already implemented a lot of this for you. Okay, so you're going to check the winner and see if it was X, O, or if it was a tie. Okay, so for example, I've already checked the rows for you, and those are all these right here. Okay, so there is a winner. Somebody won for this first row if B11 is equal to B12 and B12 is equal to B13. Okay? That is how you check that, and that makes sure that B11 is equal to B12, which is also equal to B13. They're all the same at that point. Okay? And we can set the winner to be any one of these, because we've just determined that they're all equal. So we can set the winner to be B11 in that case. And the rest of these two are similar for checking if there's a winner here or here. There should only ever be one winner. So you can stop after you find one. Okay? So it's your job to check the columns now. This, and this, all these in order. And then also the diagonals. So those three there. All right? So that is your job, and you'll print who won. So if X wins, you'll print out X wins. Similarly for O, if O wins, and then if it's a tie, you'll say it's a tie. And you'll notice that it's a tie when nobody won. Yeah? That is the idea. So that is tic-tac-toe and FuzzBizBaz, and that is your lab. So submit it when you're ready, or you want some partial credit, and you know exactly what to do now. Just wait a few minutes for the autograder to work, at least 15, and then view grades will be ready after you run refresh grades. So there's the rubric, and yeah, I think that's everything. Please yell at me if you have any questions. Good luck, and I will see you next week.